Questioning why am I wearing a shirt with my name on it? Well, it is because over the summer I actually worked for a professional mobile detail company, which is basically washing cars. So it really impacted my life because I realized a lot of college students don't really know how to properly detail or take care of their car for the longevity of their car and also the resale. And I'm going to cover this up because if you are like me, you get distracted by the littlest things, like the fact that I have my name on my shirt. So that is why I am dressed like this today. So self-detailing is actually very easily accomplished in just 4 simple steps, which is the prep step, the drying step, the interior step, and then the exterior step. If you follow these steps, I guarantee you your car will look better in the long run. So according to rightlook.com, the first step that you want to do is you want to focus on your tires. So the best is a solution known as silicone. You take the silicone, it takes care of your tire grease, which is basically the little black things that you find in your tires. A lot of people don't realize that this is actually tire grease. They think that it's dirt. It's not. It's actually the grease from the tire getting stuck on there. You take your silicone base, you apply on there, it comes right off. After that, you spray down your car with a power washer. If you don't have a power washer, it's okay. I don't. I use a hose. Power washer helps, and you go basically from the top of the hood to the bottom of the car. Your next step after that is the soap and clay. You're using basically your simple soaping mechanisms, but really important is the clay. I can't afford clay. It's like very small, so unless you don't worry about it, but if you can afford clay, it's helpful for the car because it takes out all the imperfections in your paint, which is also very important. Also, however, do not clay if you're not planning on waxing later, because what happens is the clay basically is applied to your car and it makes the car very vulnerable to the elements. So it's very important to not clay unless you have the ability to wax later. So simply move on to the next step of the process, which is the drying stage. So you rinse off your car with the power washer again and the hose. Now this step is very fascinating actually because a lot of people don't realize this. Most people, they just take a towel and they just apply it to the car and that. The best way to do it is actually to take a leaf blower and to spray off the car because it adds wind power and it gets rid of your water droplets, which is sometimes left behind if you just take a towel and put it on there. So you can pass that around and really see the details in that. What's also very fascinating is you don't want to use just a normal beach towel. A lot of times your fuzzes from the beach towel are left on the car, which will later add on to the paint. So the best thing to do is to use a ShamWow material like this, an absorbent material, in which you apply to the car like this, take it out, rinse it out, and then just keep going back over and over again. You're going from top to bottom once again. The whole process is always top from bottom. You can pass that around if you'd like. It's very soft and fluffy. All right, so the next step, a lot of times most people just end at normal car washes, just end with that. I recommend you don't because then you neglect your interior, which is the third step. The interior step is personally my favorite step because this is when you're taking your vacuums. I use a shop vac. I don't recommend using a regular vacuum because you have the one in your house, it's hard to walk around in your car with. Shop vacs come with different types of tools that you can add to get under the seats, in between the seats and all that. You're using that on your carpets, your seats, your back, your trunk. And then your interior dressing is basically the stuff, I don't know if you ever see a new car, how it's got like that shininess to it and that like new car smell, that's your interior dressing. You apply it on a soft rag, you go over all the plastic in your car to make it give that new shine, especially your air vents, because that's where the majority of the dust is coming from. After that, you spray the carpets with air freshener. Now this is personally my favorite part of the process. It's the exterior phase, the last and fourth most important step. According to my boss, Red Couch, who went to school for about 2 years, he says the wax basically is there to protect the car against the outside elements, which is basically, it depends on where you live. For people in the desert, they're going to be worrying about sand and dust. For people in New Jersey, which is myself, they're worrying about the salt in the air from the sea that is going to corrode the paint on the car. So you basically do wax on, wax off, apply to 2 different rags, and as you move throughout the car, making sure you get those wax on and that wax off. Next is your polish. Your polish gives that car the shine in the sunlight and all that. It's the same process as the wax on and the wax off. Simple motivation. Finally is the last step in which you do your windows. You spray the windows with simple Windex. You could take a soft rag like that, go on the windows, spray in a rectangular motion instead of just up and down or that, because that will leave behind a glossiness that you don't want while driving. To recap, self-detailing is accomplished in 4 simple steps: the prep, the dry down, the interior, and the exterior, to achieve a better, cleaner shine for the longevity of your car. This process is not really made for everyone because your car is your own personal thing, and it depends on what you care, how you want to care for it. I find this is the best way to really produce your car. My car's 2006, and it still looks brand spanking new. So I believe that this is the best way to detail a car, and I find myself more satisfied when I'm done with this way in which I detail a car. So yeah, that's it.